So I'm back with a new video, and in this one we'll be talking about ways of getting rid or renaming this qemu hard disk to something more realistic. Obviously the simplest way would be to just pass through an entire either an NVMe drive or a storage controller with a drive attached to it, and then you will just see the actual drive. If you cannot do that or don't want to do that and want to stick with one of the virtualized drives, then I'll discuss how to do it in Virtual Machine Manager and pure old qemu. So let's get started. So let's create a new virtual machine. The ISO for Windows right there. We'll disable this because we'll create our own. We'll have to customize it. A new EFI, apply. So we'll need two things. We'll need to add virtio drivers. So this will be a CD-ROM, and I downloaded them, and the link is in the video description. Okay, and we'll need to create a new storage for our virtual machine. Let's give it 40 gigs, disk device, and it will be SCSI. Finish. Boot options. Before we forget, let's make this bootable too. And let's start our virtual machine. And we'll have to disable secure boot. So press F2 or keep pressing F2 as the machine boots. Let's go to Device Manager, Secure Boot, and disable this. F10. And let's boot from our Windows ISO. Okay, so here we'll have to load driver, and that's where our virtio disk drive comes into play. So VIO SCSI, Windows 10, AMD 64, and next. Okay, there it is, new, and next. Okay, let's shut it down. We can delete the CD-ROM drives now. You can keep them, doesn't matter. And let's edit virsh. So virsh, edit, and win10 is the name. If you named it something else, then that's that. We'll use nano. Okay, so here we are. We will have to find the drive. So devices, and right here is our disk. If you have multiple disks, make sure you are editing the right one. And at the very end, we can add vendor. And let's name it RCA. I don't know, why not? We'll bring RCA back to life. And vendor. And then some other features. Product. And let's name it RGB +++ and product. You can also pick a serial number. So you can do this from Virtual Machine Manager when it comes to serial number. It lets you do that, so you don't have to edit virsh for that. But here we are, so let's do that. Serial. Okay, and what else do we have? If you want to, you can change many more features. The link to the libvirt documentation is included in the description, so have at it. But now let's save this. Control-O, Control-X, and let's start our virtual machine. Okay, so we are here, and let's take a look at the Device Manager. So here is our RCA RGB +++ SCSI drive. You can name it anything else you want, and it's a fairly easy and free fix. Not a big issue, but it looks odd. So now let's try changing it in pure old qemu. Okay, so here we have our qemu. Right here is our SCSI drive. I'll leave this in the video description and the controller for it. So you need this whole block to rename it. So RCA, RGB+++, some other details. Here is our Windows installation. and the virtio disk. And so overall, a very simple virtual machine. So let's get it started. And let's press F2 just to check the virtual machine BIOS. And it should be, yeah, secure boot is disabled just the way we want it. So important to check because it uses that SCSI driver, same as the previous virtual machine. And again, so we'll find the SCSI driver, select it, partition the drive. Okay, and let's take a look at device manager, disk drives, and right here. So qemu hard drive is gone. RCA RGB+++ is here. So it works. Fairly simple, quick. Hopefully you found this informative and useful. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.